Gonna dance with my baby.
All right, enough of the Madonna songs. Welcome back to the Look Mum I'm Hustling podcast, episode 52. We've been vibing out on a bit of Madonna here this morning.
It's a good choice. I came in, Drew had it pumping, and I was just like dancing along.
I just wanted to play Ray of Light. You wanted to hear music. Hey, Mr. DJ.
Hey, Mr. DJ.
And the TV has gone blank immediately. We're onto a great roll here.
We are. Very, very good roll.
So this week, we've got a few interesting things to talk about. There's so much going on in the social media landscape. So many different apps and updates to the social media platforms that we're going to get into. Kind of interesting as we're level one little baby hustlers, little immature Tamagotchi hustlers here.
We like slowly getting fed and, you know, someone's coming in and cleaning up our poop for us.
It feels like that sometimes.
Yeah, we are. We're very... We're not old. We're sort of in like our 35, mid-30s, right? We are definitely old.
Don't downplay how old we are.
But we're babies in the sense of like just trying to get our heads around all this content creation aspect, all this social media aspect. I feel like we've only just like brushed the surface. There's so much more different layers, so much things to think about. Yeah, there's just always new information coming in.
Time to change those Tamagotchi batteries out and get re-energized for the year ahead.
Upgrade to a DS, right?
It's March next week. So we really need to start getting going because we've talked about what we want to do with the podcast going forward in terms of adding more clips and cutting it up, repurposing it more, promoting it more. Haven't done that yet. Shame on us. We need to go harder at that. And even our personal brands. So if anyone doesn't know, we also have YouTube channels. We've done YouTube. We had a joint YouTube channel in the past for the last, I think, 3 years. We started in 2019. Kind of been going on that on and off for a couple of years now. And this year we've sort of split the channels up and are doing our own independent little personal brands and journeys to cater to different markets and different niches. And same deal. We need that new energy replacement, I think, new battery replacement.
Yeah, well, like it's been a very interesting process sort of like starting because like you said, you've taken the established one that's already got monetized, which is very lucky. And I'm sort of growing a baby one from scratch. And it was very interesting. I was very nervous to begin with just to make a little like intro video, be like, hi, my name's Shara kind of thing to get like it rolling.
What if it sound like Noddy then?
Noddy? Like the little Noddy that goes to sleep and that wears no pants? Does he wear pants?
I don't know.
Little shorts? I can't remember.
Probably should.
I don't know. He probably got banned in some country.
He got cancelled in a minute. Just like, well, Roald Dahl got cancelled this week, or a lot of his books are getting censored now.
Right. Was it Dr. Seuss was the other one?
Dr. Seuss is pretty bad as well.
Yeah. What's with all these childhood ones? Anyway, but yeah, back to YouTube. It's been a really interesting thing sort of getting to know how to work YouTube, and it's hard. Like there's so much information out there. There's so many like gurus out there telling you what to do, like what's the right path to take. Like do this thing and you'll get more views, do this thing and you'll get more subscribers, do this thing and you'll get better click-through rate. Like it's what one do you follow and who's right?
It's the same as everything though. Like if you were to go and play basketball for a team, each coach is going to have their different strategy for winning a game or how to put the pieces together. And the same thing goes with YouTube. There's no one set formula for success. What got Mr. Beast famous is not the same as what got Casey Neistat famous. They both have different approaches, different skill sets leading up to that. But yeah, you're right. There's so many gurus and coaches and stuff out there. And it's hard to determine who's the most credible. And a lot of them might be credible in their own right, but you have to kind of figure out who is credible and who has the best information that works with your personality type and what you want to achieve. Because again, it's not a one size fits all approach.
No, 100%. They always got like, you've got sort of like 3 different sort of style videos that you can do. So you've got like an evergreen, which is a very like long-term slow grower. You've got searchable, which is, you know, a lot of those how-tos and tips and stuff. And then you've got the browse essentially, which is
topical stuff.
Yeah, topical, which is the very much like those viral moments. And it's hard to figure out like which sort of one of those categories you fall into. Can you do all 3? Like where is your skill set at? Like are you interesting enough to be able to fall into browse all the time, or do you have some sort of expertise that you can teach people about? Like, yeah, it's like where do you fall on that spectrum?
When you break it down, it's really entertainment and information. That's all you're really going to YouTube for. And people go there, people jump on the app for different reasons. So they jump on the app when they're bored, when they want an answer, when they just want to fill in time. There's different reasons people actually click the button, and then you have to, the whole thing is reverse engineering what the audience is looking for. And you can't I don't know why I said it again because it's the first time I'm mentioning it, but you can't please everyone or make content for the masses. Like someone like Mr. Beast can, and that's because he's like spent so many years refining retention and how to appeal to the masses and how to get 10 million plus views on every video. But that is a very outlier, exceptional case that is impossible to replicate unless you're Mr. Beast. So there's so many people that are trying to copy Mr. Beast thumbnails and video types and prank videos, and very few of them ever make it to any level of like substantial success because it's just replicating what's been done before. You can't, like Jurassic Park worked for a reason. Has there been another dinosaur movie that's really hit that sort of level since? Like it's been done once to a high degree. You can replicate it, but it's not going to have the same impact unless you do something more original or more remarkable, I guess, is like one thing we're looking at and learning about lately is like to have like success on YouTube in the entertainment realm, you kind of need something remarkable to happen in the video. No one's going to click it if it's a boring video, right? So it's about how can I if I'm going to try and compete or use this type of influencer or creator as like a benchmark of what I want to do, how can I do it better and how can I make it more remarkable than what has previously been successful? Super hard to do.
No, 100%. And like a lot of people forget that Mr. Beast channel was like 8 years in the making. Like it didn't happen overnight. And a lot of these people are expecting to get Mr. Beast numbers overnight. And he's put that grind in. He's put that effort. He's put that hustle to get to the point to where he is. So then these gurus or these coaches come out and be like, all right, if you do this and this and this, exactly like Mr. Beast, then you're going to get his numbers, where that's not the case at all. And it's just interesting just seeing all these different point of views. So for me, I don't think I'm that interesting. So I think one of the things that my skill sets in like the searchable and the sort of the evergreen, making those sort of like long-term aspects. Whereas a lot of those big people, because Mr. Beast is like the huge one at the moment, is like, no, browse is like where it's at.
Yeah, it's all about just self-awareness and knowing what you have to offer and what is unique or different about you and your life or you and your message. There's nothing that crazy or remarkable about him. And when you look deep down, what do you really know about him? He's not like he's vlogging his day like Casey Neistat was.
No.
So Casey Neistat, you know a lot of things about him, where he lives, his wife, his family, his kids, how he makes videos, his studio. Mr. Beast is just making entertainment. You don't know the personality behind the scenes.
No, and I think that's like sort of what he wants to do. It's not like he's almost like a game show host in a way. Like you don't know the personal life of a game show host. It's just what they just want to put smiles on people's face. They just want to entertain. They just want to bring joy to like people's households and stuff, which I can sort of see him doing. And I was thinking like on that vlogging sort of aspect, even someone like PewDiePie, right? So he's gone through a lot of the different wheels of like what YouTube is. Like he's been like that gamer channel while I was looking at, gurus and like, how to start a YouTube channel and all that kind of thing. His videos popped up. So about 4 or 5 years ago, he did like a how-to YouTube sort of content. And then he's branched out into like vlogging, like showing his life and his lifestyle. So he's probably one of the few that have done like the whole spectrum of like that type of content.
Mr. Beast, when you think about it though, it's never about, like I said, it's never about him. It's always about what's the story or what am I creating? It's never like, here's me doing the thing. It's just, I'm here, like you said, as like a host of presenting the thing. He's just a presenter. He's not really showing his life. Whereas like PewDiePie now is like doing more vlog stuff. And you can get away with that once you have a large enough audience. But something that we've done before is just make vlogs about our super, super average life and existence and business we're running. But I feel like you have to build it up for a longer time period before that to make people actually care about what the hell you're doing. Otherwise, you're just wasting a lot of time. Like we run a business on the side and used to make videos about that business, but essentially we're making vlogs that no one really was that interested in because there was nothing super interesting or remarkable happening. And then the business suffered. And as soon as we stopped doing that, the business doubled immediately.
Yeah.
So it's about, if you're going to do vlogs, make sure people care about you first.
Yeah, well, not only care about you, but make sure it's not make sure, but like the vlogs that are usually successful is like you're living a life that people want.
Or admire or inspire or probably envy is the biggest one. They don't really feel envious to you, but you have to be living a life that they feel like they would either want to live or want to watch unfold.
Yeah. So you have Casey Neistat, the OG. He was living in New York, this fast-paced sort of lifestyle. Like he had the drone, he had the electric skateboard, all that kind of stuff. Like who wouldn't want that? Then you have someone like Emma Chamberlain living in LA, you know, doing all this fashion deals and, you know, just having this really lovely apartment and just like living life and going to get food and stuff. Like that's, you know, a dream. And then you have someone like, you know, Logan Paul that was doing outlandish things and vlogging a day. And it's just like, it was so crazy. You could not watch. Like there's all these different types of, like it's with vlogging, you can vlog your everyday life, but like for us, I guess anyway, like who would want to see us, you know, handling dirty clothes and, you know, trying to figure out how to like organize Notion and like doing our meal prep twice a week and walking Archie. Like it's super average stuff. Like that's what everybody has access to. So with like vlogging, like what doesn't everybody have access to? Yeah.
And the common thread, if you see any of these lifestyle vloggers and stuff that blow up, there's always something unique about them. They live in a super interesting area or a remote area that no one really has access to in the middle of like Alaska or something, or go to a prestigious school or live on a yacht, or like there's something that like 0.01% of people like would have experienced in their life, and that's how you can set yourself apart. It doesn't guarantee success, but it means you got a good leg up initially in terms of being interesting. But if you're just like the average 9-to-5er that works in the city and lives in the suburbs, unless you got something really unique about you or a lot of charisma or something, vlogs are like incredibly hard to do. Or unless you have a big enough following to sort of support that, because you make vlogs, there's nothing wrong with it, but you're never really going to grow a substantial following or community just based on something that everyone else can do in a heartbeat. So it's the how much of a differentiator or how much of an outlier is your existence compared to the normal person.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. Like a lot of those vloggers used to do the searchable or the evergreen type of content and built up to that point. So like a lot of these, you know, these YouTube coaches or these experts in the field, like if you look at a lot of their best content, so whether it's, you know, Think Media or places like that, or not places like that, like channels like that, it's like it's the how-to videos that sort of got them to that point in the first place. So like they're really building that foundation on that educational aspect and then sort of like branching out into entertainment in a way. So yeah, YouTube's a very hard field to navigate.
It is. And it goes through so many different iterations. Like there was prank channels, and then there was vlogging channels, and now there's, I guess, video essay is a big format that people are using now. Is like they release a video once a month, but make it a documentary essentially, like a Netflix style 20-minute documentary. So it goes through its ebbs and its flows. Like there's the CEO just left this week, right?
Yeah, well, I see she left last week. So the CEO of YouTube, Susan, I can't pronounce her last name, so I won't pronounce that. But
I'll bring it up so you can save yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Even like the recent Colin and Samir, creator support that they have there, they're another one of those, you know, YouTube-y style experts. But yeah, she left YouTube and she was apparently really there for the, oh, lovely. Nice. Let me try and put it back.
Yep, keep talking.
Yep. So she was really there for the creators. That was her, you know, like her foundation. She was the one that got rid of dislike buttons, which I had no idea about. And they were saying that she's like the mother of AdSense. Like she helped brought it in, helped create an income for creators. And yeah, like she has a big history in YouTube. I mean, she rented out her garage to the people that started Google, which is super interesting. I know. And when I was reading it last week, I was a little bit sad, but there's not a lot of female like CEOs or anything out there in, you know, Silicon Valley and things like that. So she was just one of those sort of like leaders in there, which was really interesting. Yeah, Susan,
she's been around for since like the beginning of the entire thing, and like she's a support for creators. Like she sort of spearheaded the entire creator economy in a way, is what I understand. So it could be interesting where it goes in the future.
Yeah, now that they have a new leader, new CEO. Leader.
Take us to our leader.
Yeah, so she was quite for the creators, where this new guy, I think his name's Neil, He's the one that sort of spearheaded shorts and the products and things like that. So whether this is going to be like a new face of YouTube, where it's going to be very much like these are things that you can utilize to help you make you money as a creator.
Cool. So yeah, YouTube's that thing that we love. Like I don't love it. Like it's the most interesting platform to spend time in, I think.
Well, it's been a big conversation in our home this week, just sort of really figuring out, like they call it buckets, like themes type of videos and stuff to release, because both of us are quite time poor and we're very selective on what we watch and what we curate. We do have a bit of downtime and we'll, watch a couple of like random things for entertainment and stuff here and there. But the stuff that we watch is very much selective, and we realize sort of this week you've got those two types of people that just go on there for entertainment, and you've got people that are very selective with their time and the content that they watch. And we're like trying to figure out which is, the audiences for us. And I think similar to like our own lives is probably the people that are selecting their type of content.
It's when you think about it, it's fun for me to like be strategic and sort of brainstorm why the psychology essentially of why someone's watching something. Like I said, you're either going on there to spend and waste time, or you're going on there in search of a particular problem or question you have. If you're going on there to spend your time, like to waste some time, you're either going to go to the home tab, which is going to be recommended videos that are probably relatively viral, probably channels you've never seen before, things that are going to be entertaining and keep you on the platform as long as possible. Or you're going to go to a subscription feed and potentially choose someone that you've already subscribed to. That's a way of like getting like heaps of views potentially, if you can make it into like the home feed. Whereas if people are going on there to search for something in particular, how do I unscrew or how do I paint this table? Then that's where the longevity and the value comes in, where the audience building comes in. You can build an audience with entertainment stuff, but it's like you have to one-up yourself every single week of like making something good enough to hit the home feed and actually get those views coming in. So it's sort of like, who do you want to serve? The people that are like coming on there to seek you, or someone that's coming on there to seek a time filler? You'd want someone that wants to come on there and seek you in particular because you have the answers to their problems. So therefore you build more of a trusting relationship. That's the way I look at it anyway. But potentially we're just not entertaining enough to do that.
Well, not yet anyway. But that's where all these sort of platforms are, trying to really utilize creators, like making a platform for creators to use a space and to like reach their audience. Like you have Twitter that's, you got the paid for blue mark subscription to have that wider audience. Like Instagram and Meta have just introduced their like blue check mark. And what they're saying is you get greater reach to the people that you want. Like
so it's called Meta Verified, new subscription bundle on Facebook and Instagram. So it's interesting the timing of this, how it's come up. Like Twitter's basically tested the waters to see how much people are willing to pay. Yeah,
they're calling it an industry trend, I guess.
Right. So Meta Verified includes a verified badge, account protection, access to account support, and increased visibility and search. So I think it's like $12 a month or $14 if you're on iOS, because you have to pay the, I think, 30% fee or whatever to the App Store. Trialing it here in Australia, which is interesting. But it's essentially, gives you a badge, so it gives you social proof. Potentially not social proof though, because you can just buy social proof. It's not earned social proof.
Yeah, like it's one of, like anybody who has like 5 subscribers can get the badge.
Proactive account protection. I mean, security is probably an important thing to have, but to have to pay for security, it's like, what about people that don't want to pay? Like they have a less secure platform and account. It's a bit suspicious. Access to account support. How often are you really reaching out for support on these things unless you don't have any protection?
Yeah, that's true. Or it's just if you just want that, I guess that's that safety net, right? Like if something does happen, then you have direct contact to like for someone to fix it.
What could go wrong though?
I don't know. Like besides getting hacked,
exactly.
Which is
there's not much that can go wrong.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. And then I don't know, technical issues, I guess. But what does it a simple?
Oh, the video won't upload properly.
Yeah, nothing that Google really can't fix.
They can't. It's pretty crazy. Like to think, where's the money actually going? And then increase the visibility and reach. So basically pay to play. You got to pay to get your stuff seen.
Yeah, which is which is probably like the biggest one, I think, in that one is the visibility aspect. So if you have that, will you be seen a lot more? Does that mean you just get to bombard people a lot more? Do you get to, is your post going to be seen the most? Yeah, it's like
it's not for everybody. It's not for the average user. It's more for like a creator or an influencer.
100%.
And I guess for $12 a month, the cost to your business or your expenses, it's not that high. It's not outrageous, but it's like kind of once most people start paying, like you're kind of forced into it to a degree. But also, like we've had social media for free for a long time. Potentially, we're just seeing this whole new era where you have to pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of competing for like searchability and reach and discoverability of these platforms.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, Facebook has been free for ages. Instagram has been free. And it's like that question is like, does the blue mark make you, does that make you more trustworthy? Or is it just like your subscriber account? Is it your follower account? Do people see, they've got like, a couple 100,000. They must be, pretty well known, or they must be pretty legit, or else they wouldn't have that many followers compared to someone that would have the blue check and only have like 10K. Like what's,
we've seen the other week that Snapchat has that feature as well. Like I would want to see for my money here, if it was me, more features that I can use as a creator, whether it's editing after something's been uploaded. Like YouTube has an editor. You can cut if you're doing like a live stream and you have like a minute countdown at the start of your live stream. You can come back in and edit and chop that out to make the video better viewing experience for the user on the other end. Some sort of longer upload times, like you can upload longer videos. I know with Twitter now, I think it's part of the verification blue check mark thing, you can do longer tweets and things like that, or basically be able to scale up how many things you can post, or the types of things you can post, or the types of interactions you can have with your users, or if you have different styles of emojis you can respond with. Like it's not really giving you much here other than a badge, account protection,
and saying that you're getting seen more,
but like, how can you compare that? Would it show you a graph being like, this is what you get? Like we do eBay for a living. You can see where your views are coming and sales coming from promoted versus non-promoted listings. It's exactly the same thing.
No, very true. And it's just that'd actually be a cool feature, is like just better analytics of like how your stuff is getting shown.
They have good analytics. Like Facebook is very good on the back end once you know how to use it. There's a whole business suite you can look into. But a comparison to see where my money's going. If I didn't pay my $12, I'd be getting a quarter of the reach. Okay, that validates or justifies me paying this amount every month. But at the end of the day, it's a small fee. But once you start applying this to every platform, you're at $100 a month just to have your main 6-7 social media accounts going.
Yeah. So then the question is, because one of the big things that, why Twitter brought it in was like, they needed to recoup some costs somehow. So they brought this in. So I wonder, because there's been, Meta's had a whole bunch of layoffs and things like that. Are they bringing this in to hopefully recoup some costs like on the back end to sort of help maybe sustain the platform, maybe to be able to actually support people a little bit more? But if it's been Twitter, now Meta and Instagram, are YouTube going to be in the blue check list, or are they just going to, rely on their AdSense and just rely? Because it's like you got the viewers, right? Like it's the viewers are the tell of like how good a video is.
Yeah. I don't think YouTube would do it. When I was thinking about it the other day, because we get monetized and we've been, now that it's my channel, still your money essentially goes into the same account.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking, like we're watching that Colin and Samir creator support, and they said they would pay $1 to upload a video. Like if you just had to pay $1 to host your video. At the end of the day, YouTube is allowing you to host unlimited numbers of hours of your own content on there for free. But there's only a small portion or small percentage of people that upload, creators that are actually in the YouTube partner program making money. So, and they're the ones that are running ads on their videos, right? So YouTube's getting whatever 45% cut. Is it 45 or 55? It's about 50% anyway of the total revenue coming into a channel.
Yeah, which is a huge amount.
But that money, the creators are getting paid are paying for the people that aren't getting paid to host for free.
Yeah, I see what you. Yeah.
Like if you're just if you're putting videos up every week and you're not getting any money coming in, you're getting to upload for free and you're using a hosting platform. Like if you had your own website and you wanted to host videos on there, it's going to cost you a lot of money every month to operate that.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
So it's a hosting platform and a traffic driving platform. So for anyone that's not making money, the creators that are making money are allowing you to do so for free.
That's a pretty like boss move if you think about it. Like it's, you know, you've got, Twitter and, you know, Instagram like asking you to pay for stuff, but YouTube's like, yo, we're like the biggest out of all of you and it's still free.
Yeah, but it's the creators that are getting paid that are kind of paying for them.
Yeah, for the
people that aren't getting.
It's the balance.
Money.
Yeah, like
it's interesting. So I don't think that would make you pay. Otherwise, all these people that are just uploading random videos, they might pay $1 here and there, but they're probably not going to do it long term, and it would weed out all the people that just have a low level interest and are just doing it for like a bit of a shits and giggles or a hobby. They're not going to take it too seriously and they're going to slowly fade out, which means less videos on the platform, which means less traffic, less ads overall. So they kind of have to operate it as a free standpoint in that regard, just to be the only platform where everyone's going, because there's no competition still. Like what's Vimeo doing these days?
Oh yeah, Vimeo. No idea. And if it wasn't free, like imagine if you just wanted to, you know, shorts or, you know, just browse or be that entertainment type of viewer. Imagine like having like it's like Netflix. You have to pay to watch YouTube. They wouldn't be as popular as what they are. Like it has to be free. They do have their paid for.
It has to be free for the viewer and the creator.
Yeah, because it just means more people are going to be on your platform using it.
Yes.
Yeah, which is
they want everyone on there for as long as possible. So eventually, you might watch 4 videos in a row that aren't monetized, and then the 5th video is monetized. They want you on there as long as possible to watch as many ads as possible.
Yes.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, and ads pop up through the sides.
But you have to go through a bunch of free content sometimes to get to one that's actually monetized.
Yeah, but even then, if you think about it, like maybe it's just me, like the type of content I'm not going to watch a video that has like 3 views or 4 views or 5 views. I
do all the time.
Oh, do you?
For research purposes. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Because you've got to see what's not performing.
Right.
You can't just look at the 100 million view video and be like, I'm going to replicate this. You want to look at the one, you want to search a term and then look at some that are like been up for 5, 6, 7 years that have 24 views that are kind of titled decently and look at why they don't work and then don't repeat those problems as well.
Oh, interesting.
You
Yeah,
can't just look at the success stories. You got to look at the losers as well.
No, that's a fair point, because if all you ever do is look at the outliers, then all you're getting is like what works for them, but it's not going to work for everybody.
And you subconsciously start replicating those things unknowingly and you just start saying the same words or doing the same phrases or the same editing styles that have worked for them, but you want to see what doesn't work as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you definitely need both sides to really get, I guess, to not be biased, right? Like you need both sides to get like the true picture or the true spectrum. It's like, you know, you can't have love without hate. You can't have hate without love.
Do you hate the people that get no views? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all.
They're trying.
It's the balance. It's the balance in the middle. Like you need to have both. That way you keep things into perspective.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So basically, we're trying to get back onto the YouTube train.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's like who to listen to, really, is like the big question. Like,
well, the same thing. You kind of got to listen to a bit of all of it to understand. That's like my initial point, to understand what is the best information for you at this time.
Yeah.
Not every mentor is going to speak directly to you.
No. And then you have, you know, people on YouTube talking about YouTube. You have people on Twitter talking about YouTube, and, you know, you've got people on Instagram talking about it as well. Like, do you listen to the people that are native to that platform? Do you listen to the people that are, you know, writing content for video? Do you listen to the people that are, you know, just doing short form?
Do you listen to them if they have no subscribers but a lot of charisma? Do you listen to them if they got no charisma but a lot of subscribers? Do you listen to them if they got a blue check mark and no videos up? Again, it's a tricky waters to navigate. Yeah. And a lot of it is just you got to use your gut instinct and your intuition of what makes logical sense to me. And it's never really that clear, because they're always going to sell you some pipe dream, give you some blueprint. Hopefully you don't pay for some course that hasn't been justified or verified by other people in terms of how successful or how helpful it actually is.
Because you do have like, not tricks, but like tips to like, you know, just say if you do have a course, like people get like their reviews up by offering a discount to their existing people. Be like, look, I'll give this to you at a discount if you review my course, and they get their reviews up that way. And it might not necessarily be good.
Yeah.
The previous person is just getting a discount and things like that. But what you're saying is listen to everybody, but not listen to everybody at the same time. Like,
grain of salt.
Yeah,
for sure.
try not to stay in a bubble. And I was like asking this question, like, are we just, because we're watching a lot of or seeing a lot of like YouTube content for creators at the moment, is like, are we just in that bubble, or is that just like a popular thing that's happening right now? Is that just like a trend of YouTube? Because there's only a certain amount of people that are successful on YouTube that are making, I guess, like creative stuff, like from scratch, like new ideas, being, innovative and all that kind of stuff. And then you have all these people talking about those people.
I think it really comes down to entertainment versus value. Like, to be entertaining, you need your own brand of how you be entertaining or interesting to others. The value stuff is like, that can be rinsed and repeated. Like, how to do this, here's a list of top 10 things. All that stuff is like, you can apply the same formula to any niche that you're in. But like the value stuff or the entertainment based stuff is the stuff that you can't really teach.
Yes.
You can teach people how to edit or be more charismatic or a better speaker or how to increase retention. But the entertainment stuff is, you can't really teach that. You need to have someone with an original idea, an original purpose, an original viewpoint of the world. They're the ones that stand out. The people that are becoming super successful aren't watching YouTube gurus about how to get successful. They just are just naturally gifted or have a following just out of nowhere. Like, they're not the ones that are like watching the gurus, like, here's 10 steps to get started. They just naturally got it a lot of the time.
Yep. Or they've just been amongst the grind and doing the whole 10,000 that 10,000 hours thing, like a stand-up comic. You're not funny instantly straight away. You might have a couple of good things here and there, but having like, a 3-hour setup or a stage, they set up not 3 hour setup, like a 3-hour spot, like that takes time to curate and stuff.
I don't think anyone does 3 hours, baby girl.
How long do they do? Like
an
2
hour,
hours?
Hour and a half maybe, if they're like really good.
How long was Tom Segura?
It's about an hour 15. 3 hours?
I don't know. Or just I guess it would be like, someone doing like a 3-hour live stream and being entertaining for that long.
Yes. Even a 3-hour live stream, if you're playing, like you've got something to refer to or prompt you. Like if you're doing a 3-hour gaming stream, the gaming is helping you fill in that time.
Yeah.
To do a 3-hour just of you ranting, like very, very hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have 3 hours of value, you can fill that in if you've got a structure.
100%.
So Sarah's trying to fix up the screen. We've got some technical issues. That's fine. So yeah, we're working. What's wrong? You're just going to give up? You want me to keep? You didn't use the hand signal for me to keep going.
Okay.
No, you wrap it up or keep going?
Keep going.
So that's some interesting stuff going on with YouTube. We're trying to figure out essentially our purpose and vision for what we want to do. We're kind of, well, I know I speak for myself. The whole commitment to a particular niche for a certain amount of time is not terrifying, but it's a daunting thing to think about, as opposed to doing the things you love. And that's another thing. You can just make videos about the things you love doing, but essentially, unless you're really, really talented or really charismatic or something, it's hard to make profit off a passion. You have to be like exceptional at what you're doing, or be able to withstand years and years and years of no growth. So it's either just resilience or like performance.
Yeah, well, that's the, like, are you happy to put in, the 3 years of that build up to get there, to put in that time? I
think 5 years ago, it was 3 years. And each year that we go on and there's more and more creators and stuff, more and more happening, that time to like get the growth momentum is getting longer and longer.
Yeah.
So the longer we delay it, the longer we need to be in the game.
Because there's going to be more people in the market. Like I know they've thrown like creator economy has been like a buzzword for like 2 years now. Like the longer, like people want to be able to spend time online. People are wanting to be able to, watch more of that type of content. Like that's like, it's just going to be more eyeballs, but also more people trying to do that work as well. Like
more people fall off as well along the way. But yeah, I think the longer we go on through this ordeal, I guess you would call it, it means the longer you have to stay in the game as opposed to having started 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But and it's that question of like, is it just volume then? Does it just come down to volume and putting out multiple videos, and just trying to be able to, I guess, bring something worthwhile to the people?
It's all volume. It's purely from here on out. It's volume, regardless of who you are. You can get away with one hit video, but even then, you have to like.
Oh, I got it on the thing. I think. Oh, you got it?
Well,
Maybe.
You told me you had it.
No, it wasn't disconnected, but it's coming up now.
All right. So, other than YouTube and the Facebook Meta subscription, a couple of new things. Another thing Facebook's introducing now is they're actually copying BeReal.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So we all know that Instagram copied Snapchat with the stories, and then they copied TikTok with the short form vertical videos. They did have an original idea with IGTV back in the day. So I will give them that. But Meta is internally testing a BeReal-like roll call feature in Messenger. This is from TechCrunch.
Interesting.
So it's a first look. Hasn't been officially announced or anything, but there are screenshots of what is likely to come down the line for both Facebook and Instagram.
All right. So it makes sense in Messenger, right? So from personal experience, like I rarely use Facebook now. I just mainly use the Messenger program, right? Like to contact my friends, to be in touch. So it sort of makes sense for them to utilize it in Messenger and not on the actual...
An app on its own.
Exactly, yeah. Because one thing they also own is WhatsApp, right?
Yes.
So they know that this messaging in this text-based format is sort of probably like where people are going to be communicating going forward. Everyone's going to have their own little group or their own little community. Like myself and my girlfriends, we have like a group like in Messenger, and that's how we communicate. That's how we talk. That's how we organize events and stuff to do. We don't write on each other's walls anymore. I can't even remember the last time I wrote on someone's Facebook wall, to be honest. So it makes sense that they're really putting this into the Messenger platform and not in, the stories aspect. Like, why would you do that? Because that's what people are looking at, that content.
Another thing I'm thinking about here is, so basically BeReal, do you want to give it a 30-second spin down?
Yeah, so spin down. So BeReal is a app. You have people that you follow, things like that, but it's private. So you have... I'm not explaining this very well. Anyway, so...
Poor spin down.
I know, poor spin down. So BeReal is an app. You're able to post one photo within 24 hours, and it's a different time frame each day that you have it, and you have, I think, 30 seconds to post a photo in that moment. But if you are following people, you can only access and see their photos if you've posted a photo. So it forces you to be on that app and post a photo to be able to see other people's content, and they're the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a way of you checking in.
Yeah.
And capturing a moment of the day. For me, it feels like it's the opposite of a ransom note.
Why an opposite of a ransom note?
A ransom note's like, or a ransom note, am I thinking of it right? Like, you want to know people you're alive still.
Yeah.
That's why they're calling it roll call. That's the first thing I've thought of, is like, roll call. Are you still alive? Yes, I just posted today. I'm still here.
And it's super authentic as well, because it has to be like captured properly in that moment. And I wonder if they're going to use the reverse camera as well. So what it does is it takes a photo of like what you're facing at, and also takes a photo of backwards of you. So just say if you're, half asleep, it takes that photo.
Yeah. So it's interesting that it's going to be in the Messenger app. It's again the same as YouTube. They want you on platform as long as possible. And if you're only doing Messenger once every few days, but this is going to force you to be on there
daily,
then it's a big benefit for whatever platform implements this, right?
They're literally just trying to, because they know that Facebook is larger, right? Like, I keep calling it Facebook. Like, Meta's larger, and their messaging platform's larger than BeReal. They'd have heaps more people using it. So they're essentially just trying to like kill off BeReal and be like, yo, we know you enjoy using BeReal. We know you enjoy using that like aspect of that real-time photo.
And mark use it here. The community and the global sentiment towards that app and how beloved it is. We can just implement it in a better fashion. And like you said, we're the primary messenger platform, same as Instagram as well. Yeah,
so that group chat that you have with your friends already, just do it on Facebook. Just do it on Meta instead. Don't worry about BeReal. Just you do it all in one app.
Kind of interesting. And Instagram's actually, I was going to mention this last week, but I didn't get around to it. Instagram is adding something in now called channels, I think it's called. Instagram channels. Let me see if I can search this up. So there's a lot of stuff coming. 2023. I mean, they're trying to get us to pay for things. Like, I don't know why. Like, why not implement these as part of like the payment structure?
Yeah, very
Instead
interesting.
of giving it to everyone, make us pay for some like cool features.
Yeah, well, it's like it's better than, because Snapchat has like the paid for option. It was just very like blasé and be like, why would you want to pay for that? Like, it's not incentivizing at all. Like you want to be incentivized, a reason to do it, like a reason to buy something.
So this is from Instagram.com. Introducing broadcast channels, a new way for creators to deepen connection with followers. So there's so much happening in social media this year.
I'm just gonna. Is this broadcast channels? So is this like Clubhouse?
No. Have you ever used what's the app called? Blanking completely. There's a.
That's all right. Yeah, so
I'll do this. Keep talking while I think about the name.
I'll speculate on what this is. So it sounds like it could be a hybrid just between like lives and Instagram TV, or is it just I wonder if it's just short format. So broadcasting, like it sounds like a TV
massive
aspect.
Blank here. I'm having a massive blank on the app.
That's fine. Yeah, it just sounds like it's more of like a TV or a live. So join broadcast channel. I feel like it sounds like Clubhouse.
It's not Clubhouse.
But it's more of like a video aspect.
It's like a notification board.
Oh.
So it's kind of like an RSS feed and a notification board of like, if you're a band, for example, you can have a channel.
Yes.
So you can communicate instead of one-to-one, it's one-to-many.
Right.
So I'll go through it. I can't remember the app.
And is it purely audio based?
No, it's just a channel. It's just like a...
Oh, so it's just like not like a Facebook page.
It's like a blog post almost.
Yeah, right.
It's
like
Substack? I'm trying to remember the bloody app that it looks like. Anyway, we're exploring new ways to help creators directly reach their audience and form deeper connections. Broadcast channels are a public one-to-many messaging tool for creators to invite all of their followers into and engage in with their most interested fans.
Interesting.
So you can be like...
It's like a group chat.
Yeah, what is the app called? A lot of NFT projects and stuff use it.
Oh, Discord?
Not Discord.
Okay. But yeah, it just looks like a group chat. Very interesting.
Anyway, I'll forget about what I'm trying to remember.
No, that's fine. But I'm wondering, because all these features are now coming out for like Meta and Facebook. I wonder if now they've sort of like pushed the VR stuff to the side, or they've done their VR work and they're like, all right, so we're
coming back to community and
coming back to the community. Yeah, because that's what everybody's sort of craving at the moment, is that, that peer-to-peer sort of direct sort of contact with the people that you enjoy or the people that you want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
if you're like a band, you can be like, hey, you can potentially like filter it to different users and what their location
Patreon?
is. Not Patreon, no. I don't think you've ever used this app before. I'll find it in a second.
That's fine.
So you can just like communicate with them, get ideas. Like if you're going to release a video, what do you guys think about the thumbnail? So rather than doing like tour stories, you're doing it in here. Like
I like that. So scroll up. So only the person that started the group can message, but everybody else can read, react, and vote in polls.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's almost like like the YouTube community tab, right? So you can post in there, people can comment, people can, submit likes and polls and stuff, but they can't post content within your community tab.
Mm-hmm.
That's super interesting. I kind of like that. That's cool. So I think, because like a lot of music is quite popular on Instagram. Like you have your band page. That's super interesting. Like, yeah, if you have like a big YouTube channel, you can just pretty much like post like, all right, I'm releasing videos. What did you guys think about this video? You can really get that real-time feedback, which is cool as well. Like I can see this as a really good... Telegram, right.
Sorry, it just came to me out of nowhere.
That's all right. Yeah, I can really see this as a good like feedback loop.
So it's just Telegram. It's just a broadcasting channel, which is essentially what they're trying to do. So just another interesting thing they're bringing to the platform, like little polls and stuff. So it's just the same kind of concept, but rather than being stories, it's a consistent. You can keep adding and adding rather than something that gets washed out after 24 hours. So I can see bands using it, creators using it. Kind of interesting. What else do we have in the social media world? So BeReal being copied, we've got subscriptions. There's a new app I found. So this is kind of interesting as well for us because we like finding relevant and interesting topics and news things going on in the world. Instagram co-founders news app Artifact is now open to everyone.
Oh, what?
So there's a new app. They're ex-employees of Instagram.
And
I started using this the other day for the articles that we used to find for the pod. We had like InnoReader or we had Feedly.
So is this essentially that?
Yes, with a bit of a spin. So like when you're trying to find news and stuff, you can either go to where? You can go to Twitter, trying to see what's trending.
Google
News. You're kind of getting all of the newspapers and stuff on their website. So you're getting a sort of not washed down, but you're getting all the
You're getting their curated version.
But it's all run and sponsored by ads and different companies that have ad space on those newsletters and newspapers online. Whereas like with an RSS feed, you curate it to your own liking. You want to follow all the business websites, etc. But it takes ages to like find them all and like curate which ones you like the most, filter them in and out. So this is sort of the same concept, but it removes like the need for you to like go and search for everything, and it sort of starts feeding stuff to you and has an algorithm that will suggest stuff to you based on how long you spend reading an article. If you're into a certain sports team, it won't show you other ones. So it's basically an RSS news feed without you doing all the heavy lifting.
Very interesting because, if anyone is not familiar with like InnoReader or Feedly, you pick the topics that you want and you sort of pick the papers or the blogs or the websites you want to follow, and that's what you get shown.
Yep.
But what you're saying here, so very similar to like Instagram and like YouTube, and places like that, it sort of starts curating content for you based on what you're watching or what you're reading.
Yes, to a degree, yeah. And you just choose what articles you're in or what topics you're interested in. If you're into business or you're into travel or food, and it'll start feeding you stuff, and you can be like, I don't want anything from this website or whatever.
Well, anytime you sign up to a new app, so whether it is Instagram, and I did this, I forgot, like, places like Pinterest, it says, what are you interested in? And because we've been on like Instagram and all those places for so long, I forgot that those apps ask you initially what topics are you interested in.
And you forget about it after one day and you end up getting just washed out with so much junk eventually, right?
Yeah.
So that's a kind of cool, another app I found this week anyway, and I've used it to find some of these articles this week. The problem is it is very new. It's in beta phase.
Right.
It'll tell you, it'll show you articles, but it'll also show you articles from weeks ago, I guess, because it's still quite new and there's not enough data around what I've been searching and reading yet that it still feeds me older topics. But looking at it now, there's most of the stuff here today is from like the last 24 hours.
That's good.
You can invite friends on. You can see what your friends are reading or that sort of thing.
So it's like they're introducing that sort of like social aspect to the news as well. Like, but I could see that creating like a bit like a news bubble, right? Like people are just listening or reading like the same type of news.
Already exists. If you watch CNN every day, you're not really going to watch Fox News or MSNBC and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you do have even like, classic Australian TV, people like, I only watch my news on Channel 10 or I only watch my news on ABC.
Like even just like looking like right now, I can just go through like what's interesting. Some news about Netflix, Apple online services down. The thing with the RSS feeds that we chose before, we had to go and find them and vet them first. This is sort of feeding it to you, and you can vet what it's already showing you, as opposed to you just doing the heavy lifting.
So when you read it, does it give you an option if you liked it or didn't like it, or if you want to see more?
I'll just go into, for example, this one was interesting a second ago. TikTok. This is from 4 hours ago on Vice. Now I have never followed Vice. Like back in the day, they were pretty interesting.
Yep.
But if I don't like them or I think they're like kind of biased one way or the other, I can just like essentially not choose not to show their stuff ever again. So this one says TikTok parent launches Xiaozhongzhu competitor Lemon 8 in US. So potentially a brand new app that's going to overtake TikTok in the US.
Right.
So I can click that. I can read the article. I can obviously share it, like it, bookmark it. I can down thumb it, which I imagine just starts.
Like to say if you give so many thumbs down to that type of content, it'll probably stop showing it to you. Or even
that actual publisher.
Yep.
So interesting.
So it's almost just like, gauging what your likes and dislikes are.
So it's algorithm-based news.
And it's one of those things like the more you use it, the more it learns about you, the more accurate it's going to be what it recommends.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's something it's not really that I know of that you can get on the internet right now. Google News.
Besides YouTube, that's the one that does it for you.
Yeah, but YouTube is titles and thumbnails, and you never know what you're getting.
No, the YouTube recommends feed. So the YouTube recommends feed.
I'm talking news.
Right, okay.
Like in terms of text-based news.
Gotcha. In terms of news, yeah.
Like you can either go to Google News and you're getting whatever whatever newspapers have paid for the highest result search or search result slot. And then you go to Twitter, but it's very rarely like an actual journalist that has an article or something. A lot of it is just people just reacting to certain things. Even if you go into like the Twitter, like recommended or trending, a lot of it is just like none of it's actually trending at all. None of it's newsworthy. There's like it's hard to get like news that you're interested in now without you doing all the work.
No, 100%.
Of like scrolling past 100 shitty comments first
Yeah,
to find the one article.
You get shown like people that you follow, that they recommend. Like you get all this random content on Twitter, which is probably the one thing I don't really enjoy.
Yep.
But if you need breaking news, it's a good place to go to.
But if it not, I feel like since Elon Musk has taken over, it's different. Like the breaking news is not really there anymore.
So is it more like
Because
becoming
it's like
more entertainment?
half the breaking news is about Elon Musk. Like it's very like I think he was
Did he make like an algorithm to make like his posts get shown
the other week,
to everybody? Yeah.
And then denied it. It's just like you can't trust any of them. So this is super interesting. Like even just then, like compared to what it was like yesterday, it's way more new stuff on here that wasn't here the other day. And a lot of the stuff I was looking at yesterday is from 3 or 4 weeks old. This is all super new and super relevant.
Yeah, I wonder if it was just like sort of like testing to see what it is that you like to thing, or
well, I'm still in this.
Well, it said it's beta, right? So it's still learning.
It says to read 25 articles in a 2-week period for Artifact to better personalize your feed, and I've only read 20 so far. So it's learning as I go. So, and again, there's a bunch of these articles here, or journals, or publishers, or websites here that I've heard about, but wasn't following on my other RSS feeders. So if I wanted to follow them, I'd have to go and find them all first.
Gotcha.
And it's hard to just like find one.
So it's almost like it's the ability to find something new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same as like a discoverability of like Spotify.
Gotcha.
Like back, or even currently, Apple Music, notoriously hard to find cool up and coming new artists. Whereas Spotify has all those playlists and stuff that are either user generated or platform generated for a type of genre or an era or a style of music or whatever. So it's just recommendations of news. So it could be interesting. Hopefully it doesn't just start filling up with garbage journalism. So I'm using that now for finding new articles, because it was quite hard to find relevant things for us to talk about. And this is like going to see what we're liking and sticking on and reading the most, and it will allow us to make a better podcast potentially with more interesting topics.
Yeah, I might give it a shot actually, because I'd still probably use like Feedly and InnoReader. Like I like to use a couple of them just to see what I'm getting fed, or just to see what's out there, because there's so many different points of views. There's so many like different types of articles and stuff. Like my InnoReader is very much more like mental health and is very much more like science and stuff, where Feedly is very much more like design and tech and like that sort of aspect. I didn't even realize while I was going through them, because I must have just, when I signed up to both different ones, I was probably in a different point in my life, interested in different things, and now it's feeding me two sort of different
So it's TikTok
styles.
for news.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can just like really just narrow in exactly what you want and feed you that stuff. Because again, ideally they want you on there as long as possible, right?
Yes, they want to keep feeding you the stuff that you're interested in.
You don't just want to read headlines. And I imagine they know what they're doing. Hopefully, again, it's in beta. Super, super new app. It could be gone in 6 to 12 months, but it's called Artifacts, or Artifact rather. And it's free on the App Store. You don't have to do anything special. There's no fees or anything. And the cool thing is also you can add and connect publishers that you already pay for. So I don't pay for much, but I am subscribed to the Wall Street Journal. So you can link that up so it feeds automatically in there. So the stuff you're already paying for can go straight into the app, as opposed to having to go directly to the Wall Street Journal app to find the article.
Okay.
So it's all in one news source. Could be interesting. What else is there?
Well, I was just trying to think, like you found like heaps bunch of techie stuff. I had a little bit more like entertainment sort of things, not super interesting.
Oh, well, entertain me then. Let's go.
Well, there was go into like my links. I'll have a look and pick one.
Are you saying I skipped over all your articles, so your potential to speak?
No, verified. The balloon one was the Coon's balloon dog. Very upsetting.
Jeff Koons balloon dog.
Yeah, have you heard like he makes all these like different style balloon
Who's
dogs.
Jeff Koons, an artist?
Yeah, so he's an artist. And there's all these different type of balloon dogs, and then and it recently just sold, and then someone must have just wanted to test to see if it was a real balloon, and they popped it. So $42,000.
Was it glass or was it balloon?
I think it's balloon,
It's
or
like ceramic or something.
Unless it was like originally balloon and then like in a cast. But yeah, like the Coon's little bubble dogs.
Wow. So the artist Jeff Koons' famous sculptures might look like they're made from balloons, but the works are actually fragile, as one art fair attendee found out when she knocked over a $42,000 Koons piece Thursday, causing it to shatter. And then we have, if you're watching on YouTube, and you can watch on Spotify also, It is definitely shattered into 1,000 pieces. So that's horrible.
Imagine just being at like an art show and then, you had like not long ago all these people coming in and ruining pieces of artworks and stuff on purpose. Imagine just being one of those people that do it by accident, you actually knock it over with your bum or something like that.
Yeah. So anything else that we have?
No, like all my stuff was like from YouTube and the creators and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I know. That's where like most of my info was from. Like I had a YouTube video of like Think Media just breaking down all the, great
Gurus.
Yeah, not gurus, but like all the great info you can get from it. So yeah, advice for 15 minutes straight.
All right. Well, I think that's enough for this week. We're bang on an hour.
Oh, nice. Easy.
Awesome.
Cool.
I don't know if we needed the Jeff Koons thing though.
No, I don't know. I was just trying to fill out space. I probably should have just, I don't know, does anyone want to see the leaked iPhone 15 images? Probably not.
No, I was looking at that, but it's like no one, it's not substantiated.
No, we're just like, I'm just a little bit like, I love that tech stuff and I love like the new products and everything, but I don't think a lot of people out there, because iPhones only hold 50% of the market, right? There's all those Samsung users out there.
Yeah, but it's like not, it's leaked. It's not like official.
That's true.
So it's just like,
it's going to be like
it's
that.
just like in 2 weeks, they're like, oh, actually we changed the USB port.
Yeah. Most of the time the leaked ones is generally pretty true.
I think we break news if it's actual news.
Gotcha.
Not gossip.
No.
Not speculation.
Breaking news.
Breaking Koons.
Breaking Koons.
The horrible segue. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Bye.